In this video, I want to take a look at a game which I played at a local chess club, and I'm pretty happy with this game. I think I played pretty well. And when my opponent resigned, I for a moment thought that maybe he had resigned in a winning position if he had found the right move. But after analyzing the game with my opponent, it was clear that I was actually just winning the whole time. So the game started as a Chigoran defense, but we transposed into an Alban counter gambit, which I don't play, and I'm not familiar with this move, but I don't think it's theory. I play bishop b4 check. Queen d7 apparently is also playable. Knight g7 is what the computer suggests, and after bishop h4 g5, which is a very complicated position. After this, I played f6, just sacrificing the pawn, which I don't mind. But my opponent decided not to capture the pawn and just went back with h4, which is an interesting idea because it maintains the pin and it maintains the tension, and well, the knight can't really develop because if it moves, then white is going to take on f6. Here I played bishop e6. The engines like this move a lot, g5 and g4, and now it just starts to get kind of messy. But after this move, queen c2, I was threatening to just take the pawn because the knight on d2 is pinned, so just defending the pawn. And queen d7 just getting out of the pin and potentially allowing me to castle queenside, which my opponent does. Although during the game I didn't think this was a very good idea because, well, there's only the two pawns defending the king. This pawn is already advanced, but the engines do think it's actually a pretty good move, maybe even the best move in the position. But I just didn't like it because it also allows me to take on e5, getting the center. I think white should have spent the time to take on f6, although that does help me to develop my pieces. But this is what was played, e3 and knight e4, which apparently is an inaccuracy. Now I castled kingside. And, well, here I kind of have to go back. But, again, I don't like this move because I think it's weakening the light squares for white. So after bishop e7, well, there's also this idea of taking on e4, and you can't take the bishop because then you're just losing. And the queen has pretty much no squares, so you are kind of forced to take on b7. But after rook b8, the queen is just trapped, so you're gonna have to take one of the rooks. Also, after knight takes e4, if you take on e4 with the queen, you have bishop f5, and if you try to force a trade of queens with this check. Well, after takes and takes, there's this move, knight a5. The point is you can't take the bishop because you get mated. And yeah, the engines think this is a blunder, although it's not that bad if you're below, say, master level. I think the real blunder was to take on f6, because now after g takes, there is a way for white to not be much worse, but well, first let me show you this variation. The engines like to take with the bishop. That's why they think it's a blunder. So takes, takes, bishop takes, and now queen g4, and the bishop has no squares, so f4, and well, I don't really know what's going on in this position, to be honest. But after taking with the pawn, my opponent blundered, and well, I'm just winning a piece after e4. Takes, takes, and well, this should be a very simple technical win. Bishop d3 defending the pawn. Check. King b1. Knight e7. And I take the pawn. I wasn't worried about this check. And now rook g4, which you see the evaluation just going crazy. And well, here is where I sacrifice the piece. So if you want to pause the video and try to figure it out. Well, you can see it, but 93. I was very happy with this move. The point is, if you take, well, then I get the rook when the exchange. Now, you can also take on f2 with the bishop. The point is, if you take the bishop, then you win back the exchange because you're attacking the queen. And well, after this, my opponent knew he was losing, so he got kind of greedy, I guess, taking on h7. And well, queen g6, I guess my opponent wanted to trade queens to not get mated, but that just leaves the rook hanging. So after this, I played this move, but even stronger is queen c1. I'm threatening checkmate, and pretty much the only way to stop it is queen b1. And after takes, takes, well, white can resign in this position. So after this, I went rook f8, and my opponent played the best move, which is threatening discover check with the bishop. It's also attacking my bishop. But here I found a move, and after I played this move, my opponent resigned. So if you want to pause the video and try to figure out what I played here. So the move that I played is rook takes on g2 check. The point is, if you take, there's this check, and if you go back with the king, well, you're you actually can't go back with the king. Excuse me. You have to go back with the bishop, and that's a check. So you go king g8, and well, white can give checks, but it doesn't really matter. Eventually white is gonna run out of checks and it's gonna be game over. So in this position my opponent resigned because he saw that after king takes, rook check, and well, it looks like checkmate, which it's not, but he missed this move that blocks the check and then at the same time checks me, which is not something you see very often. So anyway, if you like the video, do like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I will put a link to the actual recording of the game in the description. And well, thank you for watching.